The early period is when you're really able to narrow down the top guys in your area in each class. And we're fortunate that we were able to get 2 guys in state that we think are very special players right now. And then we ventured out of state a little bit. You know, we kind of stole from some other areas, and we got some. It's a class of right-handed pitching. The class that's on campus right now was very left-handed heavy on the pitching side with a good mix of position guys. So we knew this class was going to be small, and we were able to go out there and really invest in the right-handed pitchers. And we feel fortunate that those 4 guys that sent in the NLIs are coming to be Dukes. Jonnie kind of sums up this class a little bit. You could have named anybody to start with. They're very educated in the craft of pitching, and they're all workhorses. They all want to become great, and they want to become great now. They have the drive it takes to be an outstanding collegiate athlete, but also a pitcher, which is a completely different monster. But Jonnie's your average size right-handed pitcher with tremendous feel. You know, he has the ability to run a high 80s, touch a low 90 with the fastball, but it's definitely the off-speed stuff that separates him. Tremendous changeup up and down the coast. If you ask guys to give you their feedback on Jonnie Fisher, the changeup's the first thing that kind of comes out. Comes from a great background, a baseball family, from his dad to his grandfather. Tremendous upbringing in terms of knowing how to set up hitters. And everything he's done, pretty much from when he entered high school, he's been successful on the mound. So we look forward to Jonnie getting on campus and fitting in very well with the guys we have now and competing. Matt's your high school shortstop / pitcher. He's really starting to devote majority of his time on the mound. Unfortunately, Matt had Tommy John surgery a couple weeks back. It was something from, you know, when Matt and I talked, he's a worker. You know, he's your prototypical, I want to get better and I want to get better now. So he was actually, I think, pushing himself a little too hard, trying to play in as many games as he could, getting in the weight room, getting in the conditioning side. But, you know, when talking to him, he's very fortunate that it happened when he did. He'll be fully recovered, and we know with Tommy John, very few times is there a setback with that type of surgery. So he'll enter campus fully rested, ready to go, as they say, a little bit stronger than he was. So, but on the player side, you know, Matt's another guy. He's more your max effort righty. He'll sit in the high 80s right now, but once he gets some things ironed out, like most high school pitchers, he'll be seeing that velocity go up, and his bread and butter is that fastball. You know, he's tremendous control of it, has the ability to slide it left and right, and we're excited about him. We think when he gets on campus, you know, the mix of athleticism coming from that shortstop position and then dedicating the time on the mound, he's got potential just like everyone else here to just be a tremendous asset to us. Christian had a tremendous summer. He made a jump over the summer that, you know, every high school pitcher would like to make. He went from your mid-80s righty to your high 80s righty. Even got into the low 90s a couple times in some of the bigger tournaments when, you know, the adrenaline's going. So his bread and butter is the breaking ball. Tremendous curveball. He's a guy that you talk about Jonnie and you talk about the changeup. Christian's the breaking ball. And now that he's made the jump with the fastball, it just makes that breaking ball even better. But he's another guy that, you know, he's a high school infielder, very good athlete, very good head on his shoulders, able to control the game, not only from the mound, but when he's in the dugout, he's a tremendous teammate. He's able to kind of keep everybody in the dugout on that even keel. And we've seen that multiple times out of him, and that wasn't something that, you know, we neglected. We can see what you do on the mound, but who are you when you're off the field? And he brings a lot to the table in terms of leadership qualities and mentality. So, but his bread and butter is just he's an attacker on the mound, and that breaking ball is definitely an equalizer. It sounds, like I said, these guys a lot of ways are carbon copies. Christian's very driven, you know, just like the rest of the class. He's a fastball heavy guy right now. He's got tremendous feel for off speed, but he's got to learn how to use it within himself. He's another guy that he's done a tremendous job of making strides this summer in terms of his mechanics and durability, and with that came the ability to practice a little bit more. He ironed out some mechanical stuff that was causing him to kind of limit his ability to attack with the off-speed stuff consistently, and he started to make those little strides, and when they started paying off, of course he wanted more. So but he's going to bring another workhorse mentality. All three of these guys have the potential to come in and be a starter, be a collegiate starter, which is a whole different level. So we're excited about him. We're excited about Christian coming on campus. The other thing to point out with this class is student-wise, they're tremendous students. They're going to come in here, and as a coach, if you can check off the list to worry about academics, then it just helps you sleep a little bit better at night. And these guys all have that ability within the structure of being tremendously driven on the baseball field. Yeah, we're looking to add. We have one more verbal commitment, which per the NCAA rules, we got to mind our P's and Q's. But another verbal from a left-handed pitcher, in-state lefty, that we're equally excited about. He fits the mold of the four righties, but to ramble on about a guy that you can't say his name's kind of odd. But I talked to him yesterday, and just for when he pulls up the video and checks it out, in due time he will have his own video. So, but yeah, it's going to be a 5-man class right now, all pitchers. It was our first time. In the video in the summer, I mentioned about the turnover. And this was the first class where we had the scholarship availability and the roster size to go out and attack the guys on the bump, and that's what we did. And I expect this class to be just as highly recognized, if not a higher recognized class, as the class we have on campus right now. When you talk about 5 pitchers of this caliber, they can make a world of difference on a baseball team. So we're excited for them, and come springtime, if we're able to add another guy, maybe a catcher, then we'll sit down, do another video, and ramble on about those guys.